So many of you guys know me as a guy who likes interesting fragrances, fragrances with depth, fragrances with substance that try to offer something new to the industry and to you and I as enthusiasts. And what that often seems to come with, and I understand why, is this other side of the coin perspective from many of you who think that I absolutely loathe and despise fragrances that do not fulfill these things. And that's not completely accurate. While I may not care for fragrances that don't do those things, I don't hate them. I don't loathe them, and I have no ill will or criticism or judgment to those who enjoy them. My only hope is that you're wearing them for yourself. That being said, there are fragrances that, again, don't check all those boxes I talked about earlier, but I still like. There's something about them that I'm still drawn to. I still have very functional reasons to reach for them and to wear them, and thus they're in my collection. They do have some part in my rotation from week to week, and every now and then you'll see them in a video like this. So yes, I got a little bit of basic bro somewhere in here. He's got his hat on, he's got his Quay sunglasses on. He really hopes that people like him and like the way he smells. He's in there. Basic bro Justin, this video is for you. But this video is also for you guys because, as usual, as we do every month, Fragrancebuy.ca asked me to let you guys know, in case you forgot they exist, that they exist, and they have some of the best selection on the internet and some of the best pricing you can find for designer and niche and everything in between. And all the fragrances we're going to talk about in this video can be found at Fragrancebuy.ca. They're going to be the first link below that like button, so check them out if you haven't checked them out already.
Let's dive into this basic list.
Our first fragrance up here is the newest fragrance to my collection. This was sent to me by Fragrancebuy.ca per my request. I saw this on Fragrantica. I looked through some of the reviews and just some of the general details. It looked kind of basic to me, but people are saying, yeah, it's simple, it's basic, it reminds me of other things, but there's something I like about it, and there's something I like about it even more than the other things it reminds me of. So that kind of piqued my interest. I was looking for something simple to wear for these summer months, and I landed on this one. This is Boucheron Singulier.
Butchering that one.
When I first sprayed it today was my first wearing of this scent, and I've enjoyed it. It's been maybe 4 or 5 hours since I sprayed it on. I'm not smelling it all that much, but it's still on my skin. I put it on my hand in addition to around my neck area. It's still here very lightly. When I first smelled it, the first thing I was reminded of is Bleu de Chanel, and people have corroborated that, and I see even more people saying it reminds them of Prada Rossa Carbon and Dior Sauvage. I don't really get that out of this. This is a little bit of Bleu de Chanel with some other stuff in there. There is this freshness that does smell blue in the way that this bottle is presented. It's very aromatic. There's maybe some geranium, maybe some rosemary, some very typical notes, fresh, spicy, woody, clean smelling, but of good quality. Boucheron is no slouch house. This house has been around since like the 1800s, and they've been making fragrances for decades. This is definitely Boucheron trying to scoop up the basic crowd to scoop up some more sales, but it is done with quality. So I'm not mad at it. I do like it. I have to get to know it a little bit more, but I can see myself reaching for this on days like this where it's sunny, it's hot. I only need a fragrance for maybe 5-ish hours before I'll shower and put something else on for later. It's perfect for that. And it doesn't smell completely basic. There is something about the quality, the way that these ingredients come together that does make it smell a little tiny bit more elevated. Boucheron Singulier.
Maybe that's closer.
This next one up is a new release from the house of Prada. I do believe it's their newest at the time I'm filming this video. This is from the Luna Rossa Ocean collection, a flanker of a flanker. This is Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum. I do have to say that this is my favorite of the Ocean collection that I've tried. I don't have the original EDT, but I do have the EDP. EDP is fine, but I just like this more. It isn't oceanic, no more oceanic than the EDP or EDT. In fact, it's less. So the name is weird. It is kind of fresh, but it is mostly kind of almost balsamic, resinous, vanillic, sweet, creamy in a way. That's the base of it. On top of that is this almost aquatic leaning freshness, but it is so almost that I can't really describe it beyond that. I think there's a little bit of spice in here from saffron that brings kind of a leathery, spicy nuance that sets it apart from the other ones. Beyond that, it's basic, bro. This is more summer evening wear. It does smell a little bit more going out, but it is not super elegant. It's not super dressed up. I would still dress this pretty casually if I'm gonna wear it, but it's nice. It's gonna smell great in the air. You might even get a compliment or two. People are going to boost your self-esteem with their words. I know you want that. Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum. I've been talking about this one a lot over the past year or so, and I've described it as something simple but special. And it's the fact that it has some specificity to it. It has a personality. I really love that in my fragrances, even when they're simple. This is Bvlgari Man Rain Essence. I've talked about it so much, so I'm gonna save you some time. It's fresh and watery. There's a beautiful calming tea note. There's a nice, slightly dry, subtle woodiness in the background that keeps it masculine. It is fresh, it's clean, it's like rainwater. Has a little bit of elevation to it as far as a fresh fragrance goes. It does smell a little bit more special, as I said. That is Bvlgari Man Rain Essence. This is another one I've been talking about for some time. It is in that blue realm, but it is so easily overlooked next to a lot of its counterparts from other brands from the house of Burberry. Perfumed by Francis Kirkjohn, this is Mr. Burberry Eau de Toilette. Is it special? No. But it is not exactly like every other blue. The blue here is achieved in a different way. There is cardamom. There's a clean, fresh, spicy cardamom. There's some greenness to it. I think tarragon is bringing a green, almost herbal quality, but it's light. It's still fresh. There's some woods. There's maybe some citrus in here. There's several things going on. Maybe a very, very subtle sweetness, but I like that it's very subtle. There's almost a bitterness. There might be some grapefruit. I can't remember, but overall, this smells just good. It smells like something that you're gonna pass people or you're gonna hug them and they're going to like the way you smell, but it's not super basic. It doesn't smell like shower gel. There's a little bit more substance here, so I appreciate it. This is Mr. Burberry Eau de Toilette. This next fragrance is from the house of Xerjoff. I like this fragrance quite a bit. I do find it very pleasant and I've liked it more as I've worn it. It's a little bit less basic to me than it was when I first got it. However, unfortunately, my wife is not a fan of this fragrance just because she's not a fan of this type of profile. This is called Commandante. This fragrance to me smells a little bit in that Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male, almost like Armani Code vibe, but with interesting ingredients.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Thank you. I get fruity honey tobacco that is made very creamy, almost vanillic and fresh and kind of light and fluffy. And I think it's that creamy, light and fluffy vibe that my wife does not really dig. It is mostly kind of basic, bro. It does remind me of these other mainstream profiles, but what they're using to come together to achieve that is a little bit special, is a little bit more elevated, maybe niche quality as they say, but as far as a scent personality goes, it's kind of basic, but it's good. Xerjoff Commandante. This next one is a head scratcher. It's a question mark. It is confusing, but I like it. I don't love it. I like it. From Guerlain. This is Habit Rouge L'Instinct. I've said this many times before. I don't know why this exists. Mainly because it has this name Habit Rouge. It smells nothing like the Habit Rouge line at all. So marketing gone wrong here. It just smells green, clean, fresh. It's kind of synthetic smelling in a pleasant way, I will say. Some woods. It's something that doesn't last long. I primarily wear this to the gym and I like it for that. But slapping the Guerlain name on it is the question mark. That is so confusing. But as a scent, it's nice. It just does not stand out from anything else on the market. If this was Guerlain's attempt to make a lot of money, I don't know if it worked. I hope it did because I do like the house, but just be aware going into this one, this does not really smell like the Guerlain you know and probably love. Take it for what it is in terms of how I described it to you. That's probably how you're going to experience it. If you end up loving it, which I hope you do, amazing. That is Habit Rouge L'Instinct. Up next is from the house of Rochas, a house that I have been slowly realizing I really like this house. They make some great offerings that for some reason end up so discounted on websites like Fragrancebuy.ca. It is stupid how little money you can pay for what you get with these fragrances. One of my favorites is Mustache, which is not on this list because that is so far from basic, bro. It is not even funny. It does not belong here, back here behind me. This one kind of belongs here, but it still has something special about it. I do like this fragrance quite a bit. This is L'Homme Rochas. You can get this fragrance for like less than $30. I think I bought it for less than $20 a year or two ago, so inflation. But it's still so inexpensive. This is a blood orange based fragrance, maybe some juniper berry, supposedly a little bit of pineapple, definitely some fresh spicy cardamom. I'm gonna try not to make myself sneeze this time. Yeah, and there's like this, I do get pineapple. Sorry for doubting you, pineapple. And there's this almost like ambery warmth behind this fresh, spicy, fruity, citrusy, bright and sharp fragrance profile. It's just kind of interesting for being really simple. And it really does bear the name L'Homme perfectly. You can wear this for any occasion. This could be signature scent worthy any time of the year. But at its heart, at its core, it is a little bit basic. But again, basic bro Justin is tickled by this one. Let me know if you dig it too. That is L'Homme Rochas. And the final fragrance, I like this. I was a little disappointed by it. I was expecting it to be something different, but I like it. But everything I just said defines why it's here in this list. It does have a basic quality to it that took me by surprise. This is from Acqua de Parma, and this is called Colonia C.L.U.B. They made it an acronym now. I don't know what it means, but it's even more of a secret now. The club is even more of a club. Anyway, you look at this note breakdown, it looks cool. I see shiso. I'm like, ooh, shiso. You do not see that every day. And I do smell what I think is shiso. There's kind of this slightly bitter green herbal feel, but that is surrounded by Armani Code. It smells like Armani Code. I know we just talked about Armani Code, but that's kind of what it smells like. It's like Armani Code, the fresh, creamy, sweet, masculine quality of Armani Code, which is a hallmark, which is a classic. Nothing wrong with Armani Code. There's a reason why it's an award-winning fragrance and why it's still on shelves today. But you take that and you add this slightly bitter herbal green quality that is just a little bit of a whisper in there. I'm really making it a crude description, but that is kind of what I get out of this fragrance. It was disappointing. I was expecting something that smells similar to the original Colonia Club, which I think they replaced with this. I'm not sure about that. I don't know why else it would exist, but I smelled the original Colonia Club in passing years ago. I enjoyed it. It was just a little bit too mature for me. I think I would like it a whole lot more now, so I was hoping I would get that experience out of this, what I thought was rebottling of it. No, this is basically a different fragrance. I just like it. It's basic, bro. I wear it from time to time. It's pleasant. Let me know what you think of this one. If you've tried it, Acqua de Parma Colonia Club. I think I figured it out. You go to this club, they like to play poker. These are old rich guys. You sit around the table, you play poker, but once you sit down, you can't leave until broke. I'm just gonna stick to reviewing fragrances. Well, that's gonna do it for me. I would love to know what you think of these fragrances if you've tried them. If you have not, they're gonna be linked down below in the description. They're available at fragrancebuy.ca, and I wanna thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.